Welcome everyone to another edition of Smacked Up Wrestling Podcast. As usual, leave comments in the chat what you think about the pay-per-view last night or Raw and SmackDown in general. We can talk about it so we can keep the progress of wrestling going on the channel. Also, leave us a like on Facebook, follow the channel there where you get to see any news or anything breaking news me and Martin put up. As usual, you're joined by myself, William, and I've got Martin. I've not really got any. I've not got any clips for the day.
Fair enough.
Oh, I'm just really tired. But what we can take away from last night, it's just like one. I've got one thing to talk about which I didn't know, and it was not until I heard it on Dead on Dave, and it was somebody that lives in Pittsburgh. Oh no,
Right.
was it Philly? Sorry, last night it was in Philadelphia, wasn't it?
Honestly, I don't
I
fucking
think it was
know.
Philly. If I'm wrong, it's either Pittsburgh or Philadelphia. Please correct me in the chat. Right, so there's like just two wee things to talk about the actual eventing of the pay-per-view. But apart from that, the card was stacked. We had good wrestling and hopefully closure to certain stories. One I can see at the end is, like me and you called it when we were talking to each other, what it's going to probably turn into be, unless this person's back, hopefully tonight in Raw. But the one thing I want to start with was the inventing of Roadblock End of the Line, because I sent you a picture and WWE had the top part of the arena blacked out. They didn't sell. They didn't sell enough tickets, and funnily enough, during the pay-per-view, they actually didn't quote the attendance.
Well, it's still trick when an arena like sells well but doesn't sell out. They say it's a sellout. When an arena actually sells out, they say that there was too many people wanting and shit like that. It's like they said Glasgow sold it. We know Glasgow wasn't sold it. We know it wasn't. You seen it yourself.
Yeah,
SmackDown also wasn't. You said it was.
SmackDown was never a sellout. Because I had to explain that.
Neither was Raw. The actual ticket number was lower than the advertised capacity of the arena.
The SmackDown had a bit of blacked out bits. Raw didn't, but there was a few empty seats, especially up the nosebleed section. Funnily enough, this was the nosebleed section in the picture. I'll probably put it in to let people see what I'm talking about. A couple of people messaged me about it, saying it could just because of letting people in, and I was like, no. I said, look, if that bit's now blacked out, that bit's shut off. Nobody's going to be sitting there. They've done it with 205 Live, which was painfully obvious to the point it's like watching a boxing match with the way they had the lighting, which I still think is wrong. For 205 Live, I still think the NXT arena was the best place for it. But hopefully now with certain things that happen during the pay-per-view, people get more invested in it. I know I will. You said you will as well. The thing as well I found out, which fuck me, I didn't know about this. Because it was not selling out, and it was really struggling to sell tickets. In the area, WWE were doing 2 for 1.
Right, that is unusual. Normally, what they do is they just give out freebies.
Like
people will be walking by the arena and they'll actually just say, "Do you want to come in and see this?" And they'll have people walk about the city that day and they'll give out tickets.
I didn't hear about that.
That's not an unusual thing.
But the 2 for 1, I was like, I've never heard of that. Especially WWE.
I've never heard of 2 for 1 before. I've just heard of them papering the shows, as they call it. They've done that ever since the old days. They hand out tickets to fill arenas.
Would they do that for a pay-per-view though?
Yes.
Right.
They do it for all shows.
So 2 for 1 tickets. So we knew this was going to struggle. Which I don't like seeing. You think with a pay-per-view,
It's their own fault. They make it an afterthought.
I do agree. There's too many pay-per-views. Having one every fortnight, it fucking can take its toll. Especially in the wrestlers, but having the separate brands makes it easy for recovery time. when was it? You've got like 4 days. You've got your recorded show, then 4 days house show, then 5 days if you've got your pay-per-view. But then you've got all your media stuff during that. But it was hard. I'll be honest, would I have paid for it? Probably last night, because I thought the wrestling was good. I was entertained.
It was a better show than what it had any right to be, given the effort they put in promoting it.
That's it. When you think about the way some of the things was done in it, leading up, I couldn't give two fucks. This is just a filler before Royal Rumble. But it was good. I really enjoyed it. The start off, kick-off, there was a kick-off match. It now doesn't count. We weren't too sure. We don't understand why should it be a kick-off. They two guys should be on that card. Because they could have easily put that on the time, because they still had 20 minutes
well,
left
I was going to
kill.
say, it's not like it was hitting the time limit at any point, was it?
No, they had 20 minutes left to kill throughout the full
And also,
recording.
one of the things they went on and on about having the network is that they would no longer have to worry about time limits like that. That was their excuse for making WrestleMania far too long, and SummerSlam far too long, and Royal Rumble is going to be far too long as well.
Yeah. The kick-off was Rusev and Big Cass. Big Cass got counted out because of Lana attacking. Well, she didn't attack Enzo, but kind of like put him off. It was shite. It was really bad. It was awful, mate. Which is sad to see.
The whole storyline's backwards. Why am I cheering for the guy that is trying to ruin a marriage? And why am I being told that I should boo the guy defending his wife?
It's totally fucked up. Like I said, the way they're trying to make Rusev and Lana's Mark Merrill and Sable. But like you said, the difference between Mark Merrill and Sable, Rusev can wrestle. And Lana's hotter. So it was so bad. It was no nice watching the match. Because you know they two guys can work, and they have that within the time limit. Fuck, that was stupid. That was stupid. And plus, we had fucking Jonas, or whatever the fuck, Janos for Ghostbusters 2 on the fucking kickoff panel. What the I know,
yes, my lord.
I know they got rid of like Jerry the King Lawler, and I know he'll probably stick to Justice Hall.
Come on, Vigo.
I know, Vigo! Fucking, I know.
Exactly.
That's what it was.
Like Doink had his makeup off.
I mean, somebody said it was like Marv for Home Alone when he gets electrocuted as well. I was like, how the fuck are these guys? Like, okay, the last one at No Mercy, that guy knew he's wrestling. He fucking knew he was wrestling.
He was some kind of sports commentator. Was he not an ESPN guy or something? He was a fan.
I can't remember exactly what he'd done, but he knew his stuff.
This guy has some radio show in the States. And it covers wrestling, and you know he does like basically WWE approved stories. He's just a fucking PR guy for them essentially. So for some reason they're putting him on the pre-show. You honestly telling me that it's cheaper to find these clowns, and as I say, he looked like Doink with makeup. Fly them out of there, set them up, pay them for the appearance, get them to do some other media stuff. No doubt he'll have some talking head shit for the network. And then fly away again than what it is to have Jerry Lawler show up once a month with his own expense for buying the flights.
I mean, the Jerry Lawler thing, I can understand. He said it himself, the way wrestling's changed now, he's dated. There's different in their era.
Do you know what the worst part is? See his last run on commentary on SmackDown with Morrow?
It was brilliant.
It was him back at... And he wasn't dated at all. He was calling... he was calling what he needed to call. He was supporting the baddies. He was fast. He was like he had a big kick up the arse that he needed for a long time.
Yeah. And
for some reason, they get rid of him, even though he's doing like he was back to his best.
I mean,
I don't know if it's because he was stuck in McCall for 15 years, or if it's just he was sick of being on Raw or what. But the second he was hooked up with Morrow, he was great again.
It could be, mate. We know. His jokes and that are dated and stuff like that. That I can understand, but why
His
Lita?
hands are kind of tied.
Yeah, but why get rid of Lita? I actually enjoyed Lita on it. So having like say Lita,
they enjoyed Lita on it. She was shite.
Mate, she was better than that guy last night.
She was shite.
She was better than that guy last night, mate.
She was.
Honestly, fuck me. It's
I know, but so
that's
would,
what I'm
like,
talking
a
about.
fucking fish tank. But
Um,
she got fired because she's shite, and she was being an agent, and nobody liked her.
she,
It's that simple. Nobody
what
liked how she did the matches.
what I like if they do it, and which I think would be so much better instead of having these personalities on it, because that guy last night, he was like saying, he was going on about, mate, I don't know how many times he plugged the fucking network. He was like, oh,
I know,
I'm
and it's
thinking,
like, what are we watching it on, you
aye,
fanny?
it's like, oh, I might just get rid of my cable and just watch the network, and it's like, fuck up. Just shut up. And what I enjoyed about No Mercy, apart from that guy was really good. No Mercy, TLC, sorry. I really liked that guy, but what I really did enjoy was they had Daniel Bryan sit throughout 90% of it. So why not have Mick Foley, like have like the general manager there talking about the matches?
Well, not
with
even
it.
Mick. We know he's got things he's dealing with now, with this hip
Yeah,
issue
the hip
that he's
replacement.
getting dealt with, right? So it doesn't even need to be Mick. Where the hell's Steph?
Fuck knows.
Where
Well,
is she?
could be doing a lot of PR stuff with Triple H, mate. A lot of the
Oh,
pictures I've
during
seen.
the pay-per-view, she isn't he? Because
No,
Triple
no.
H himself be working in Gorilla with Vince.
He'll be back, yeah. Fuck knows, mate. Then there must be something. There must be some reason why she's not been in telly since
Well, I mean,
Survivor
don't get me wrong,
Series.
normally I'm quite happy to have a break for her, but when you've got Mick having to take this absence to get much needed surgery, and they still wheel him out anyway, which, by the way, I thought he was going to get hurt. See, when Sammy was pulling himself up on him, knowing that Mick's got a bad hip, and does he take painkillers or anything?
The
So,
fact,
you didn't, don't pull on it!
no, the thing I found funny was he was holding on to his trousers.
Aye.
If you watch, he was like holding on to his trousers
Like,
so
he
that
was
they fall
pulling him
down.
down, though. And
Aye.
no, it's just, he was pulling Mick down, and that would hurt like hell with a bad hip.
So
The way he was pulling on him.
they've got to change that setup. That guy last night was fucking awful. Kickoff was awful. But let's move on. Because we could sit.
Well, I'm sure there'll be somebody else next month.
Oh, I know, at the Rumble. No, well, hopefully they've got wrestlers on it. I really fucking don't like that. I don't like that
Nah, that's
concept.
far too revolutionary an idea.
Um,
Wrestlers talking about wrestling.
I know,
What's wrong with you?
fuck.
Get out
That's,
this company.
I know, fuck. Imagine having wrestlers on the kickoff show. No, let's have a DJ guy that would just look like a fucking Ghostbusters reject and does not know fucking anything. But he'll suck Roman Reigns' cock. He'll suck his cock, and that's what he fucking did. First match, the tag team titles. Brilliant match.
Wow.
Brilliant fucking
Not
match.
even a brilliant match. The best performance by Cesaro since he's joined this company, and I don't mean to put down any of his other performances. As you know, I'm a huge fan of his. He's been phenomenal constantly. He should be. I mean, any other company, he's the man you build around. He can do everything. And last night it was like, if for some reason you haven't got on the Cesaro train, has made one last stop to go, if you don't get on the new, you're fucked. Because he pulled out all the stops.
He
absolutely did.
I mean, this has been the
He
best.
was phenomenal. The true meaning of the word.
I mean, this just now has been some of the best work Sheamus has been doing. But last night, he was a bit off. He was off the pace really quick.
Like I say, it was the Cesaro show last night. Everybody else in that match just did their roles. But Cesaro, that was a breakout performance. I mean, like, if you haven't seen it, you know Cesaro's about 6'5", 6'6", maybe even 6'7". I don't know.
Things he done was brilliant.
Right, this guy does a Hurricane Rana on Kofi Kingston. Cesaro, the big, muscly, baldy Swiss bastard, does a Hurricane Rana to the top rope where Kofi Kingston's hanging out. And then once he's done that, he picks him up with one arm after being rolled about by Kofi into a pin attempt to put him into a suplex position, to drop him down and put him into the neutralizer.
He was
like it was fucking nothing.
It was so good. The performance for him. He was the performance of the night. He really was, and it's
by far.
Like you said, it's a fucking travesty. He's not been put in main event status yet.
If they don't somehow take him for this tag team and put him up there, then there's I just don't. The only way he can get the position that he justified is if he went to. And I know I'm going to be a fucking smart here. No, New Japan.
Oh fuck, they would love him.
Because they'd build that company around him and Okada going at it, and it would be probably one of the best feuds you'd ever see, just because of match quality. I cannot understand that they keep pushing the same guys over and over. Seth Rollins has not had a good year this year.
No.
Faye came back.
No.
Roman Reigns, he does his best that he can, but that crowd aren't going to buy him. You've got a guy who can talk despite Vince not liking the fucking Swiss for some reason. He can fly. I mean, he's even been doing 619, remember? Never mind that Hurricane Rana. He's got the strength, he's got the look, he's got the gimmick now. He just needs a better song, I think. But he's got all the pieces are there waiting to be put together.
I mean, throughout the film,
and last night was a big step to that.
That was a prime example of, if you're going to hold me down, I'll go out all stops. And fair play to...
Aye, I'm going to prove you wrong. Yeah, and he's got a fire behind him, and it's happened to Sheamus a bit as well. In fact, I know you didn't watch it, but when they were on their Talking Smack rip-off, the Raw thing, after the show, the two of them were first up. Sheamus did the majority of the talking. And that was probably the best Sheamus promo I've ever heard.
Was he back to
and it was stuck on some... Oh, aye. But in the best way, because he said... Like, he drew in on the things for the storyline. So he's going, here's me, the MVP of this team. But we realised when we had the bar fight that we needed to get on the same page. And then, like, on our day, no one can beat us. And then Cesaro chips in with, well, the plan at the end where we faked the tag thanks to my superior Swiss intelligence, making up for him being Irish. It was really just everything came together, and the two of them are just bouncing off each other. They've clicked against all odds. I mean, they even said it in the interview when they were doing the best of 7. Everyone was going, "Oh fuck, we're not going to need to watch fucking Sheamus and Cesaro again." For the first couple of matches, that was the case, but by the time they hit that 5th match, they clicked, and by the time they hit the 7th match, they were still in the show. And this tag team should not have worked. But they are doing everything they can.
The thing I quickly want to touch on is the ending. That I've not seen, the fake tag.
Magic.
Then obviously
absolutely magic. It was such a clever ending.
Cesaro taking the trouble. He took the trouble in Paradise, didn't he? He took trouble in Paradise.
Kofi thinks Cesaro's the legal man because Cesaro pulled his hand away as Sheamus goes to tag him. So Kofi hits him, rolls him up. Sheamus comes over, dives onto Kofi and pins him, and then that was it. But see, just after that, because obviously New Day had the big run in, blah blah blah, and Cesaro hugs him. You know, just thanks for a great match because that was a hell of a performance.
Oh, I loved the way it ended. Aye.
Sheamus comes over and he reaches round the other side of Cesaro and grabs the 2 tag belts and goes up the turnbuckle and starts getting booed. It was great.
It was really good the way they've ended that. I'm happy New Day dropped the belt. They needed to do it. I
don't even care about being wrong about the match. I'm delighted, and it was such a great performance.
It was a really good match. And I was happy with it. It was a nice way to set the night. And that's what this thing was. It was a good wrestling show. So I went 1-0 up. Next, I'm trying to remember, was it Jericho and Rollins?
No.
Who was it?
No, that wasn't second. It was... Do you know what? I just actually had a tab up a minute ago and it has vanished. Sorry guys, we're normally organised.
I know, how professional are we?
Getting there, I'm just pulling up the stupid wiki page. It's been hidden under the Daily Mirror. Nobody wants to go to the Daily Mirror website. They're all cunts. This is exciting search music. Like it's an action film, honest. Really what's happening is I'm really slowly scrolling through stuff. It was Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman in the 10-minute time limit match.
That was the one I forgot about. Now, when we done the predictions, they never really made it clear about the fucking way this match was supposed to work. And then the night on it, it explained itself. And we're like, right, okay, so Sami...
During the actual match.
Yep, so Sami goes 10 minutes, and over the time limit, he wins. He doesn't have to get a pin. Right, okay, we get it. So there's no a draw system, it's just he can win. Like we were saying, this match benefited the two of them. It wasn't the prettiest to watch, but there was a reason behind it, and that was to make Braun Strowman look destructive as fuck. That is the reason. And with the last 2 minutes dedicated to Sami getting like the redemption and going the distance, basically, with like you said at the start, with Mick Foley coming out ready to throw in the towel, which ate up some of the time, but it was a nice way to do it. It was good storytelling. It wasn't a brilliant match, but it was good storytelling. And like you said, it pays off for both guys.
Yes.
Pays off for both of them.
Oh, aye. It was a very smart way of doing things.
Yeah.
Like, I maintain they should use time limits anyway to like govern the actual shows, because then, you know, you're not going to have problems like we get at WrestleMania every year, because that company has no concept of time management. No. Like even like 15-20 minute time limit, half an hour for title matches, maybe 45 or whatever. But Strowman doesn't have to get pinned. Sami looks like he'll never give up no matter what, in that Daniel Bryan kind of way, which we've missed since Daniel had to chuck it.
Yep.
Next year's going to be Strowman's year, if he can stay injury free.
Yeah.
The guy's too good.
It was like on you go, sorry.
He can talk. We know that for the podcast.
Yeah.
He can wrestle. We know that from the clips I've seen, like him doing kip-ups and shit. What the hell? He's no business doing that. I don't know how they've managed to find a guy who just did weightlifting and strongman competitions and found out that he can fly about like that and actually wrestle. Don't know what the hell's going on. It's a massive success for NXT.
And you still remember, I mean, he's a rookie. He is still a rookie.
This is like his second year.
Aye. So, fair play.
It's fantastic. They've done a great job protecting him, and now he's broke out like this. He's going to be, if things go as they are, he's going to be a big NXT/Performance Centre success story.
I mean,
I'm so impressed with it. As I said, that podcast just finished winning me over.
The podcast is what won me over eventually, and like you said, look, you've got to watch it. I've said it through multiple podcasts, early ones that I just wasn't keen on them. Now I get it, I get the picture. And last night, people might look at that, like I said, it was not the best match. But if you take it
needed to have
the
somebody
story. The story made it perfect, and like I said, you've got the monster. He fucking done it for 8 minutes of the match. Then Sami got his redemption. They go
and
they
they
came
had
out
that nice
stronger.
bit with Mick.
Aye, the two of them came out stronger. There was no loser in that match. No loser.
Exactly. Sami wins on paper, but like it kept, like, the crowd were a wee bit quiet first, but as the time starts ticking down, you think something special's going to happen here. And he even teased it a wee bit. Those last 30 seconds, Sami really brought it to Strowman.
Yeah,
he was giving him the big boot in the corner, and he was going right up, and he was taking it to him. And there's going to be something fun at the Rumble between those two, I think.
Oh, I can't wait.
In the actual Rumble, I mean.
I can't wait. So it went 2-1 with Sami picking up the victory. He survived 10 minutes.
Which counts.
That counts. That was it. That's all we needed. So 2-1. The next match, is that the Rollins and Jericho? Because they were early.
Yes.
Right. So obviously we had a lot of backstage segments with Kevin Owens, which I enjoyed. Like I said last night, mate, their bromance is better than Marcus and Dom from Gears of War.
Absolutely.
So much
it's a better love story than Twilight.
Yeah, better love story than Twilight. And like you said, you called it at the end, and we kind of seen this all happening. But I liked how
it doesn't matter. We'll get there.
But what I did enjoy was the banter back and forth. No, I don't like him. I've got you this scarf. Like basically, fuck off. And during his
a manky scarf.
It was manky, but I was like, I really found it funny. Because
They just work too well together. You cannot break up magic like that.
No, it's
you can't.
It's really good. And like during the Seth Rollins match, it was a tidy match. Really good wrestling skill. Jericho still looks great. And
the thing is, like, that's one of Seth Rollins' best matches this year, and it's because of Jericho.
I mean, like
Jericho can, like, he's like Flair in Flair's prime, but the difference was Flair always did the same match, the same spots. Jericho doesn't do that. Jericho's more of the Shawn Michaels school of being creative, working around what the opponent's strengths are, rather than hitting the same spots over and over. Look at the line salt spots last night. Aye. The first one he went for, and Seth stood up and shoved him over the top rope. Now, there's very few other wrestlers who would have the speed to catch Jericho there. Like, to get up from lying in the middle of the ring, to run over and shove him over the rope as he's going for the move. And Jericho wasn't, like, you know, acting as if he was going to do the lion salt. He was going for the lion salt because he knew Seth would get there.
It was really good to watch. Like you said, Seth Rollins has not had the best of the years. This year, he's not had the best year. He's came back to injury.
He had the horrible injury.
Yeah.
He came back. He was dealt a shit hand by the booking because he should have came back a face. Natural story there. They try and make him get booed. It doesn't work. And then they turn them. And it never quite gelled. You know, the way it would have done had he just been a face from the get-go. And I think he's found a little bit of trouble sort of setting into that upper card but not the man role.
Yeah, it's
I think he's a better heel at the moment.
Yeah.
But I might be doing him a disservice there because, as I say, if he came back as a face from the get-go, I think it would have just went a lot smoother. Yeah. Overall.
It's like we've always said, it's always hard to get over as a babyface. A heel is so easy to get people.
You need a heel run before it.
Yeah, and that's why,
to be honest, the best way to get cheered on your return in the modern day is to come back from a bad injury.
Aye.
Look at Triple H. That was really the first time that I can think of an example of that happening. And Triple H came back at Madison Square Garden from the first quad injury.
Yeah.
The weird combo jacket.
and it's not even that. I mean, as much as people make it out he's like shit towards the fucking like talent and that. There was one time during, like, it was at the early 2000s, I would agree he was a bastard, but he's still one of the best.
Oh, absolutely.
He still is probably one of the greatest heels that company's had. He was the best heel,
but he's not. This is my problem with him. Isn't his talent, and it's certainly not how he did a promo. It's this revisionist history where we're getting told constantly he's one of the best ever. No, he was the guy that worked with the top guy, and he got, like, Triple H was probably the person who benefited most from that perfect storm of talent that WWE had, because he feuded with The Rock when they came up at the same time. He had those little teases with Cactus Jack, and then that long feud with Mankind, which legitimised him. And then once he'd broke out, thanks to Mick Foley putting him over like he did, he was up against Stone Cold, and he had the power trip, which was sadly short-lived because I loved that angle. Absolutely loved it.
I mean, that's what I've always said in the past about the Attitude Era. When I've always put in the main four, if you took them away, and I always kept Triple H just a wee bit off it. Because
he's definitely one of the four. He was the heel to work with those three incredible faces.
I put him as I put him as a 5. Sorry, I put him as a 5 because if you did, Taker was in the 4. Because of him and Mick Foley. Yeah. So it was just, I always kept him just that wee ball hair behind him. Just behind them.
Absolutely it was.
Because if it wasn't for them, Attitude Era wouldn't have happened. I've always maintained it.
Yeah.
No,
you're right. You're right.
That's how, like, last night I thought he was going. I actually genuinely thought he might have made an appearance. We're still waiting. We're getting teased this fucking appearance.
Well, I'm expecting Taker back on SmackDown in 2 weeks because Cena's back. I think they're going to start teasing something, even though I'm sure. See, do you know? I was thinking with let's be honest, we're probably going to see Cena get that 16th title at WrestleMania, or at least be going for it. And I know the storyline's built in with him and AJ because AJ's got his number, so to speak. And I know Taker's lost to Lesnar, but there's still a certain allure about Cena and Taker. I mean, if they put the belt on Taker 4 weeks before Mania, at whatever the second last pay-per-view is going to be,
Yeah.
I'm not against seeing that match. Because that way, Taker's vulnerable and the WrestleMania record's not there.
I know.
But he's only slipped up once.
So,
You know, I think the stakes would be higher. Whereas if he's up against AJ, we're all going to expect him to beat AJ.
yeah, I mean, with the Triple H thing, I expect him to show up at the Rumble against Seth Rollins.
Absolutely. Him and Seth are going to be feuding to Mania.
Yeah, so Seth got the win. Kevin Owens did try an interference, which basically cost Jericho the match. Two of them were shouting at each other. Kevin Owens walked away upset. It was good storytelling. Again, great wrestling match.
Mm-hmm.
We had the cruiserweights. Again, it was a
Yes, we did.
it was a tidy match. I mean, there's nothing really you could complain about.
There's
this.
nothing wrong with their talent.
No.
It's just, there's no stakes.
But
There's no stakes.
I will be honest. I mean, there was parts in it. You go, what? Okay, that was good. Something different. Like the double.
There's nothing wrong with what they do now because they actually put in an effort.
Yeah.
It was those first two fuck themselves.
The double super kick, I liked. Brian Kendrick was really out of that match. Don't know if he is carrying an injury and let the two do majority of the work. He might be.
Maybe it's just to put more of a spotlight on Rich and TJ because they're less of a known quantity in WWE.
Maybe he's that.
It could be that.
He's that type of guy, mate. He'll just take the back seat. He doesn't bother.
Oh, absolutely. That's what makes him so good. It's the hallmark of the best. Look at HBK.
Yeah, but
I keep going back to him today, but he wasn't afraid to make the other guy show off.
Let's say to really we won't really talk about main spots in the match. Like Rich Swann won, which made what was it 4-3 at that point? Am I right? No, Seth. It was at 2-1.
I think so. Aye.
2-1, 3-2, 4-3,
3-2.
4-3. So this is 4-3. This is the fourth match. Aye, fourth match. So, but the main point was Neville, who has been totally forgotten about.
Long fucking aye. The man that creative forgot.
Long forgot about. And he came out and attacked them all. Which
and I think
brilliant.
They wanted the people to boo him because he was leathering the faces. And he had that sort of mean look on him, and they were selling it in the commentary like, I didn't know he had this in him.
Austin Aries and Corey Graves were brilliant for him. Brilliant for him in commentary.
Oh, yes.
And now you think...
But they were saying that he was, that's a mean streak, and I didn't think he had this in him, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to boo Neville for beating up two guys that have been there for 2 minutes that I don't know anything about. I don't care about them. I care Neville's here to battle them.
It's the best move for Neville. It was the greatest thing they could have done. And now he's going to get his time.
King of that division. He should have that Rey Mysterio spot.
Yeah, he.
Whereas he's the guy who can be taken seriously against bigger guys, despite being, not anywhere near as tall, because he's built like fuck. It's ridiculous.
I guarantee the Rumble, mate, he'll be the champion. Guarantee.
I sincerely hope so, because he should be the man that they build that division around, and as soon as Austin Aries is healthy, because he meets the weight limit, we're going to get an all-time classic feud. And if that can't fix the cruiserweight division's reputation, they should just scrap it. Mm-hmm. For the first time since this fucking thing's been introduced, there's hope for it here.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at Neville and Kendrick, you're looking at Neville and Aries, and whoever else they bring up. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if they were really struggling for ideas to see Jericho drop the weight. I mean, he won't actually drop the weight. You know the old Matt Hardy thing? Yeah. I went and lost 20 pounds so I could be the light heavy or cruiserweight champion of SmackDown. Remember that?
Yeah.
I think they'll pull that. Because Jericho started off as a cruiserweight. Way back in WCW. So why not have that nice sort of career, circle?
It was great, mate. It was something CWC needs a bit up the arse. It was brilliant.
Now I want to watch 205 live because I want to see what Neville's going to do.
I'm the same. So Swan won, but the big talking point was Neville. So that's how much we're not really going to talk about the match. That was the main point to that match.
Fantastic looking as well, because he came in, everything he did was crisp. He didn't miss a beat.
It's not even that, he came out.
Being away.
He came out as his face entrance. That was the thing with that cape, and then it's just boom. So
by the way, can I just credit to Austin Aries for that's a really nice cape. I wouldn't throw it on the ground like that because he comes out wearing something similar.
Well, I hope see when he does go. Cause what I might see as well, mate, I don't want to see it because I'd rather see him in SmackDown for the sake of talent. Ty Dillinger, I could see them putting him there to like boost it. It's not a bad call, but again, I'd like to see him in SmackDown for the sake of talent. But I can see them putting him there to like get more people to watch this product.
Aye, because then the logo, it's the 10 guy!
Yeah. So, let's move on. And then we've got the women's title. And
yes, the Iron Man match with women in it. Because we can't call it Iron Women because we might lick windows and we've got too much window cleaning fluid in our brains. At least that's what I'm interpreting it as.
This match was probably the worst of their run of matches. The best one was still the Falls Count Anywhere on Raw. That was the best one.
Yeah.
This one
We've used all their ideas. This should have been a greatest hits.
This should have been
That's how I would have done it.
A great match, but it was...
they take the best spots for each of their several matches and they just go at it. But instead, they try to do something different. Never quite worked.
It was untidy. Though it was quite predictable what was going to happen with the ending. But not much in the ending sense. The two of us guessed Flair was going to come out. We two were like, Flair's coming because Sasha got the first.
Well, I mean that's because it's common sense.
Yeah,
why have this guy involved and have that big thing with him and Charlotte moaning and slapping and all that.
Sasha got the first tap. And then you fucking knew, mate, the way it was going to go, going down into overtime, especially when it went to 2-1 in the last 10 seconds.
I'm not complaining. It's the only logical thing you could do.
No, that's it.
There's no one for Sasha to feud with.
I was.
No one's ready yet.
I was happy the way they got right down to the end, and then what we seen was. It made the match look 10 times better than what the match really was, and
yes.
It was a freak accident, and it's basically Sasha Banks broke her nose from a move.
Bad. You could see it.
You've seen the shape
slightly.
So I don't know if it was on the rope. There was
make my nose feel funny thinking about it.
Well, mate, I was trying to see.
I don't like this kind of thing.
I was trying to see where they'd done it, and I don't know if it was when her face smacked after the rope or just after the rope incident. This is in the just.
I think Charlotte had caught her with her foot slightly, but I can't see the exact time it happened, and I don't really want to.
But this was.
As you say, I mean, like I said to you last night, this is like a Stone Cold at WrestleMania moment, where she's put into the submission move and the blood's flowing, and it was all over her face.
This wasn't like a small treacle. This was like smeared over her face. This was pouring, and
that was a bad one.
And
yet, what did she do? Ignored it and just kept going on like a trooper.
And that brought more credibility. The last 4 minutes of that match made more credibility than the Iron Woman match and the Hell in a Cell match. Just that small 4 minutes, because you're watching a women's wrestling match with the top face covered in blood. Never been seen.
Aye.
Never been seen in WWE television. You were right. Vince might have went off his nut, but if it was because he doesn't like colour.
It was an accident. It wasn't like it was deliberate.
It's one of these things.
It wasn't like a Batista Jericho.
No, this is not a blading. I mean, I'm not a fan of colour in match. It's not even like I'd turn and say if the colour's done right and it tells a story. This was an accident. Yeah, this was an accident. Oh, sorry, on you go.
When they banned blood, I was I was raging. Like, no, they had to tell a goddamn story. How dare they do this? Blah blah blah. Best decision they ever made.
Totally
By
agree.
far.
Totally agree.
Because
You don't need
now
it.
the very few times that happens, it makes you sit up and take notice.
Well, the only
Remember when Cena got mauled by Lesnar?
yeah, and you're like, well,
bleeding.
Lesnar done it to Orton, and it's like the fan WWE got the backlash for it because the fans were like, what the fuck, that was overkill. Well, last night,
It was the way they did it.
yeah, it was just
It was the problem
overkill.
there.
We don't need to see colour. We complained about it on the podcast.
No, it's not the blood itself that was the problem with the Orton match. It was the fact that Lesnar fucking potatoed him several times to do it and concussed him. In the Cena match, that's not how they did it.
No, but
there was a blade in there.
Well, I'm saying, see, with the Orton one with the blood, was the fact they fixated on it. Now, usually they don't. Like last night, they were trying their best to keep the camera off, and it's like, no, look at it, and it's like, no, we don't want to see that. We don't need colour like that in a match. Whereas last night, an accident happened, Sasha had been a trooper, and this was pouring. It really was bad. It wasn't like a small trickle, that, like we said, it's in her hair, all over her face, and it made that match look brilliant. For how bad it was, it made it look fantastic at the end, just the 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Just the 4 minutes made that look fantastic. We guessed right who was going to win because WWE will not fucking change pay-per-views. And
Aye.
Charlotte walked out 4 times champion. People are pissed at it. I'm not pissed at Charlotte being a champion. I'm just pissed at the belt going back and forth so fast in 6 months.
That's not going to happen anymore because there wasn't a rematch clause.
I mean, that's the only thing that pisses me off. I'm not fussed with Charlotte being a champion. I think she's a good champion. She just has to work on a few things. She has to get that mole off her chin.
Murray.
Apart from that, she's beautiful. But no, Charlotte won, so we go into the final event 5-4. 5-4. And I took the change just because WWE would fuck us all hell. They always would, but it wasn't a match where I'd go, shit, we drew. I'm still happy because he never walked out the champion. We walk away as both winners. So Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns was a tidy match. The one complaint I've got, apart from the ending, was the no-sell for Roman Reigns. Did you see him when Kevin Owens went to do the cannonball on him? He didn't sell it.
Don't you fucking start me. I was saying this to you last night. There was one point where Reigns takes 2 super kicks to the face. He gets put through a table via frog splash by Owens off a barrier. Owens rolls him in the ring and frog splashes him again. And he kicks out at 2 as if he'd just been punched once. Like selling that it was an effort to do it, just arm straight up.
Yeah, he's selling.
Even Cena was embarrassed to watch that.
His selling last night was fucking awful. He's not been the same since the whole accident.
See, last night, that's the first night where I can say that I thought Roman half-arsed it.
Aye, no, fair shout.
Because I really think he half-arsed it.
Fair shout.
If you watch it, he was just not going for it the way he usually.
I mean,
And it really killed the crowd.
Yeah,
Owens was pulling out some crazy spots to wake them up.
The crowd,
like that cannonball thing, the leg drop.
The fucking suplex for the top rope is not the suplex, but the.
Aye.
It was a suplex. Sorry.
Aye, I know.
There was things.
The point is, he put in the effort to wake them up. He was doing moves that he's never pulled out in WWE before. Moves that I didn't know he could do.
No.
And the crowd didn't give a shit because Roman wasn't selling the effect.
And that was the thing. This is the first time, like you said, in a long time, Roman. I mean, I'm not going to sit and bash him because I have turned and said he's a good worker. But
I've said it as well, because the one thing we never
completely off,
as we stressed over and over, that he always put in the effort to do the best he could. But last night, he half-assed it. It was not up to his standard.
But it's been like that since Survivor Series, mate. There's been something just no right.
Remember on Raw a couple of weeks back, I was pointing out, was getting pissed off because he gets battered the whole match, then gets up, spear, finishes it and wins.
Yeah.
Like nothing had happened to him, like he had been beaten up for 10 minutes, and it pissed me off.
That's what pissed me off last night, mate.
Same thing.
That would piss me off last night. They went into the pop-up powerbomb, done it, beautiful, clean, goes for the count, legs in the rope. Okay, right, fine. That spot you can totally understand.
But he didn't sell it as if it was like effort to do it. He just put his leg in the rope.
Up. Then, right after it, spear, and I was like, "Oh my fucking god, they're doing it! They're doing it!" And but then he's selling the injury. What the fuck's his change, mate? It was so bad. The ending.
It was so stupid. But again, this is down to your own. Like, I don't understand why nobody take them aside and went, look, you're still the guy to us, but you need to actually make the other guy look like a threat, or nobody's going to give a shit. It's basic wrestling. That's why people have been doing pro wrestling for over 100 years, because they made each other look good. Jesus Christ.
This is when I've got a complaint. There's a part I loved and a part I hate, because it's like either fucking do it and stop doing so many fucking teases, or you date the once, which you did, leave it for a fucking while, right? Just leave it for a while.
Aye.
Jericho comes out, and I genuinely thought he's got to do something with the ref, because Owens is like, no, grab my belt, I'm done. And this is when the spear happened.
Aye.
So
yep.
I was like, oh fuck, he's winning the belt. So Jericho's come out and you're like, oh shit, what's going to happen? Because the way they've built, oh fuck, there's Tony. The way they built it was like the two of them, Jericho's totally fell out with him. And probably it's a way to say, like, don't fuck me over again, but Jericho hits the code breaker on Kevin Owens, costing Roman Reigns the match. So Kevin Owens picks up the victory and still is the Universal Champion. You win.
Because then everybody was going, oh no, he just went and attacked him. Oh,
he went and attacked him.
Jericho picks him up.
Then it went to 5-5, and we're sitting there like, okay, I'm happy with that. But what's going to happen now? We're drawing. But what's happening on the screen? The two of them were smiling. They played everybody. And it was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. That I loved. Then it was ruined.
Oh, aye.
Then it was ruined. Now, I'm all for teases. Like, say, remember you had the small teases sometimes when it was like Shawn Michaels and Triple H. When they weren't DX, they were doing their separate things, but you had that tease of DX.
Yep.
The Shield. Yep. They done the big tease at fucking Money in the Bank last year when it was Ambrose and Roman Reigns. Cool. Totally cool with it. I marked the fuck out. Then they done the better one, the Survivor Series, which was fantastic.
It wasn't a tease at Survivor Series. It was a flat-out reunion to batter AJ.
It was fucking phenomenal. Brilliant. Loved it. Let it leave it there. Just leave it there. You're not going to top it. No. The next Raw pay-per-view, Shield reunion. Minus Ambrose.
No. But, like, the way that they did this was completely heelish. Like, yes, I know the two of them screwed over Roman, but Rollins had literally no reason to come out. He won his match. He got his revenge. He pedigreed Jericho. So he comes out anyway. They double powerbomb Jericho through a table when he's trying to leave. They chase Kev and powerbomb him through the other announce table. I mean, when a champion gets attacked from behind like that, that's not a good guy move.
It made Kevin Owens look weak as fuck. That is the only time I'll ever say it, mate. Last night, the champion looked weak as fuck. He plays that type of champion very well. I'm happy how he does I'm happy how he does being a champion. I think he's great at doing it. He's the old-fashioned heel. Very old-fashioned. I love it. That, though, made him look weak as fuck. Weak as fuck.
Aye.
Because in theory, you have the mid-card champion and possibly the number one contender setting about you. I know Roman Reigns isn't the proper mid-card. I know he's up higher. But in theory, with that belt, he's mid-card champion. I did not like it. I did not like it. They could have just left it as if...
No, neither did I.
They could have left it as they played the full crowd, they played everybody in Raw, end it. See what happens on Raw next night.
Exactly. That would have been fine. They don't get their revenge on Raw. Got like what?
let them
How
have
many
their
weeks of
revenge.
stories to fill in for
Yeah,
them?
let them have their revenge in Raw. Put them through tape. See what they done at the end. They could have done that in Raw, and it would have been more powerful. See if you finished Raw like that, that would have been more powerful because then the heels have to step it up.
Yeah.
But to finish it like that was a fucking insult after the good work the story was doing. They should have just killed the show as soon as the smiles were happening, the hugs. It's like, they've played us. What's happened? They've played us. Finish the show. Fucking insult as usual.
Yes.
Insult as usual. Because they can't have Roman Reigns look fucking weak. That's basically what it was.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. See, if Roman was holding up his end, as he had been up until recently, I'd be okay. I'd get through it as I already have. But when you go through a match no selling like that, again, it pisses me off.
It was that was
disrespecting everybody else in that fucking roster. It's disrespecting your belt.
That is the only negative thing, mate, for last night, and it was the main event as usual.
Aye.
Apart from that, a solid wrestling show. A solid wrestling show. And there's Tony again. Even he's pissed at Roman Reigns.
Of course he is.
But there we go. We finished 5-5. So what's the final scores going into the new year?
I have not actually tallied that yet because I forgot. So I will do so just now. Prediction series score. We were at 15-12.
So
now it's 20-17.
Oh, pulled back 3 points. So we've got one pay-per-view just after the New Year. We don't know its name yet for SmackDown.
There's this SmackDown one, whatever it's going to be. There's still no advertised it. I wonder if it's happening because they are cutting down pay-per-view numbers next year.
Thank fuck. And then we don't know if there's going to be. Is there a Raw one before the Rumble?
No,
right. So
that was Raw's last one before the Rumble.
So we'll have the Rumble, right? So we'll talk about just a quick thing we just want to mention. It's a maybe. We don't know. It just depends on a lot of factors. But if you've been listening to us throughout all our podcasts, obviously we pre-record these purely because it's easier to do for editing and stuff like that. And time frame because it's the UK with the American Time for Wrestling on the network. Me and Martin are going to try our best. It's not a promise, but we're going to try our best to try and do a live reaction of the full Royal Rumble pay-per-view where you have me and Martin calling the matches. You know yourself with the rules.
This could be the final.
It could kill us.
Video from the Gaming Folk channel.
It could kill us, but
it's all on the line here, folks.
But
I'm not kidding.
It'll be funny. It's just but Martin, calm down. But just to let you know, guys, with the rules of YouTube and WWE, we won't be able to show the match. We can't do that. You can't have sound. It's just the rules they do, or they block the video.
It's alright, I'll do this when I'm not talking.
We'll record a crowd back noise and something. But it's just.
And then Roman will come out with lad booze.
I will have booze. So that's a maybe. It's something we really want to do. We think it'll be brilliant for you guys watching. Me and Marty, I think it'll be a lot of fun for us too because we've not watched a live event for a long time together. So, but it's different talking, but actually being in the room. Because me and you are kind of like, we are heel guys. Always been heel guys.
Yes.
So it's going to be.
We're fucking dirty smart.
It's going to be really enjoyable. So it's a maybe. Any more information, we'll post it on Twitter. So, as usual, just follow Roddy Messate, which is myself. And Martin, what's yours? Because you change your name all the time. I know it's your
I can't even remember.
I think it's Martin McKendry, but it's insert.
Oh no, it's my actual. It's not my Twitter name that I changed. It's just the display name. The Twitter name's always the same.
Right. So follow Martin as well, where you actually get good comedy because his names are quite funny when he changes them for the appropriate seasons of the year, especially
obviously
now. Yes. So we're back tomorrow for the Raw recap and Wednesday for SmackDown, and that is us till the following week. So as usual, leave a comment.
It's going to be Christmas. There's no wrestling to suffer
Thank
through. I mean,
fuck.
watch.
So, everybody, as usual, tell us what you thought about the pay-per-view. Leave it in the comments below. Leave us a comment or a like on the Facebook channel. Same as usual. Let us know what you thought of the pay-per-view or anything that you see in the news. Let us know if you have heard anything. Leave us a sub on the Gaming Fault. Always just follow us on Twitter. And as usual, you have been listening to Will. And I fucked up the ending, mate, for you.
You fucked it.
Let's
do that again.
Let's do that again.
Come on.
Mate, I know sold you like Roman Reigns. That's insulting. Insulting.
Come on, do it right. Do it right and leave this in so everybody knows that you fucked up.
This is twice I fucked up and where do I go live?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I've been Will.
You disgust me. One gimmick. I've got one gimmick. And you fuck the gimmick.
You want me to do it again?
Aye, I just told you that.
I just done it for you.
And don't cut this out so that they know.
I'm not cutting
They
it.
all know.
So everybody, thank you for listening to Smacked Up Wrestling Podcast. I've been Will.
And I once choked a man to death.
Everybody, thank you for listening and tune in tomorrow.
Cheerio.